Alright guys, name is Tyler aka Nanogenix, and today guys we are doing one of my absolute favorite series here on the channel that we do, and that is Before You Summon. Now the thing about this is not a should you summon. So you go down there and you leave your little, sort of quirky comment about how of course you should or no you shouldn't or whatever. This is not a should you summon. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your stones. Now the real question here is, what is a before you summon? We talk of course the main units, in today's case UI Goku and Jiren, the new cards. Well, UI Goku's not new, but his Dokkan Awaken is of course brand new, and Jiren, we're gonna talk about both of them. We talk about the actual banner itself, how it looked on JP. Do we think there's gonna be changes? We then look at the teams that these guys are leaders of. And then last but not least, and new addition to it before you summon, because of you guys leaving your feedback on these videos, because again, I love to take in your feedback and sort of bring them into the videos and help shape the videos moving forward. We're going to briefly discuss his event as well and some sort of suggestions as to how to beat it or what you might need to know for that event before you hop in. So anyways guys, that is today's video. Let's start it off with talking about UI Goku's Dokkan Awaken. Now when you first look at him, you think, wait, has he been debuffed? He hasn't, and we'll get to that in just a second. He is the Realm of Gods category key +3, HP attack defense plus 150%, or intelligence type key +3, HP attack defense plus 50%. So while it's not as strong as say like an SSJ3 Bardock, who boosts the SSJ3 team and then also gives intelligence type, super intelligence type by 90%, this guy does the 50. So it's still nice. If you don't have enough Realm of Gods units to completely run a full Realm of Gods team, you can still throw in some intelligence type units if you are lacking in said category. Then his super attack is raised attack and causes miss damage to enemy. Passive is attack and defense plus 100%, and a whole new mechanic being introduced into Global, which is Awaken when HP is 50% or below. Now this was originally introduced into JP with the LR Gogeta and LR Vegito. Now I have had a lot of you guys tell me that this has been in the game for forever with Great Apes. This is quite a bit different. This is a whole new style of mechanic, and we're seeing it on all of the units post LR, Vegito, and Gogeta, except for one, which is Jiren, and we'll get to that in a second. So anyways, once this guy gets below 50% HP, he is going to awaken. Much different from LR, Vegito, and Gogeta, because those guys had to get below 50%, but also had to be past turn 6. So, which their sort of awaken ability is a little bit stronger than, say, him going to his Master UI state, but it is what it is. Then Link skills: Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, Over to Flash, Godly Power, Tournament of Power, First Awaken, and Fierce Battle. Key links here are not short at all. Tournament of Power, Over to Flash being both +3 key are just absolutely insane. Categories: Realm of Gods, Universe Valve Saga, which of course Universe Valve Saga is the category that Jiren is the lead of, and then Pure Saiyans, which isn't quite going to be in the game just yet, but it comes out with Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. Then we take a look at his actual awakened state. Once he does get below that sort of 50% HP, his passive then changes. He does lose his defense buff because he gains a dodge, but his passive is key +3, attack plus 150%, great chance to evade enemies attack including super attack, and disables enemy guard. So he does lose that defense plus 100%, but gains his ability to greatly dodge attacks, and after using him for about almost 2 months now, it's worth it. It's worth it. But yeah, I know a lot of people when they first saw him said, oh, he got debuffed or whatever, and he really didn't. He got stronger. Trust me. Once you test him out, once you try him out, you're gonna like this unit. If you haven't, I personally don't have him on Global. I'm hoping that I do. Now, before I hop in and we talk about Jiren, I just want to give a couple shout outs. One to the wiki, because this video is much more useful with the help from the wiki that places an awesome resource for everything Dokkan, as well as DBZ.space. Shout out to Renzi and DBZ.space. A link to both of those will be down below. And while I'm already here and we're in the middle of getting back into the Jiren discussion, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so yet, consider going down there, subscribing, and joining the hashtag NanoFam today. So slap a like on today's video. All those things for all this crazy awesomeness coming to the global side of the game. Now let's talk Jiren. He is the Universe Valve Saga key +2, HP attack defense plus 120%, or Stream type key +2, HP attack defense plus 40%. Now he does get an awakening later, however he does not get one right now when this releases. Several other units do get awakens, which we'll touch on here in a moment, but this guy does not for now. It will be later, and probably will be after year 3 anniversary, which is around July 5th. But could be maybe before, because we're seeing this so soon. Now, also worth mentioning, I'll get to that in a sec. Let's continue on. So, his super attack causes miss damage to enemy and greatly lowers defense. His passive is attack and defense 120% up, or sorry, plus 120%, and a medium chance to stun on enemies. So, if you're already thinking it and you haven't watched any sort of JP stuff, he's fantastic for Super Battle Road, because while Dokkan Festival events usually are immune to stun, sealing, defense debuffs, attack debuffs, and all of that by the final stage, or even sometimes before the final stage, Super Battle Road is not, so he's actually really useful for Super Battle Road. However, that part of his passive does get a bit nullified out if you are taking on Dokkan Festival events. Link skills, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Hero of Justice, Tournament of Power, and Godly Power. His best Link buddy, if you've not already sort of recognized it by now, is Topo for now. When Topo does get his Dokkan Awaken, unfortunately, he does lose that Justice Link. Kind of sort of makes sense if you've kept up with Dragon Ball Super, but definitely is an unfortunate piece for the Topo Awakening. Categories this guy fits into are Realm of Gods and Universe Survival Saga. So the cool thing here is that they're both on this banner, and they both fit into each other's categories. So if you pull one or the other, you're able to then run the other on the said team, which is actually kind of a nice touch. Now, when he does get his Dokkan Awaken, it was a little underwhelming, kind of, because it's a buff to his passive that isn't as strong as you would want it to be. However, his leader skill is still fantastic. Leader ability, once he does Dokkan Awaken later on Global, more than likely post tier 3, but maybe before, we never know. Universe Survival Saga Key plus 3, HP attack defense plus 150%. Strength type Key plus 3, HP attack defense plus 50%. And Super attack causes miss damage to enemy Great Lord's defense, so it pretty much stays the same. And he gets a 10% buff to his attack and defense. It becomes attack defense plus 130%, which was the part people were kind of like, well, that's a little lackluster. Since we saw him as an SSR, we saw what he could do as an SSR, and we just assumed once he got buffed, he's going to be even crazier, maybe even all the way up to 150% on attack defense, and it ended up not being the case. However, he still keeps his medium chance to stun all enemies, but he gets that guaranteed critical hit against a stunned enemy. Again, a lot of people are upset because Dokkan Festival events, such as UI Goku's that we're about to talk about, he can't be stunned at the end, so that sort of just completely nullifies that part of Jiren's passive. Same thing, this guy fits into Realm of Gods Universe Survival Saga, and he gains Fierce Battle. Now, talking the actual banner itself, this banner is pretty godly, and apparently is going to be GSSR here on Global. That's already being introduced, which is a huge win on Global. Now, this banner is only 3 back from where we're at if you just talk Dokkan Fest. And although there have been other in-between banners such as LRB or stuff like that, but just Dokkan Fest talks, we are currently in Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta, which is the one we're right now, which is the Pure Saiyan's lead. We then got Turles right before that, and then this was the banner, just literally 3 banners ago, less than 2 months ago from the time I'm recording this. The banner looks pretty fantastic, as you can see there on your screen. Jiren is awesome, Kefla is awesome, UI Goku being awesome. That 18 is also fantastic. If you have the Ranger 17 from Dragon Ball Super, she is his best Link buddy. She changes Ki for him. She's awesome if you're able to run him and her on a Tournament of Power team or any other team that they might fit on. Intelligence Angel Golden Frieza coming back is amazing too. Ups the ante for this banner, makes this banner worth even more because he's such a good unit, and Resurrect Warriors is such a good category. And Kel and Caulifla, both getting Dokkan Awakens from this new Universe Survival Saga story, as well as Kefla, all make them fantastic units for this banner. So if you don't have these units yet, and if it is going to be GSSR, this is amazing. So I'm not from what I've seen, it's going to be, the first one's going to be a featured GSSR, and then the rest of them are just going to be like the regular GSSR from how JP's doing it, which means still a chance of it being featured, but a higher chance of it being unfeatured, which is still pretty fantastic. Now, last bit of this, let's talk team building. This banner's awesome. That's really all I can say about it. It's one of the better banners that's released as of late, especially if you're missing pretty much any of these units or dupes of any of these units. All of those units, the only one that I can say is maybe somewhat lower tier, but even then she's still pretty good, is Android 18, because Kel and Caulifla and Caulifla's Dokkan Awakens are all just super duper friggin' awesome. So let's take a look at teams. Now, I have built out some mock teams here. I actually had a bonus SSR Jiren, so I went ahead and used him since his Dokkan Awaken is not here yet. This is sort of a top tier, quote unquote top tier Tournament of Power, because that's what we usually call it, but it is Universe Survival Saga team, Tournament of Power team here that I built out that you could absolutely build if you had all these units. Now, a lot of people argue that the Intelligence Angel Golden Frieza doesn't necessarily have a place here because he does debuff super attack units by minus 15%. However, his sort of damage output, as well as everyone else's damage output, makes him still a pretty decent contender to be on this team. Now, if we move over, this is a full free-to-play team. Now, I realize Kabe and Caulifla down there at the bottom have not been awakened. I'm always low on Zenny. As you can see, I only have 6 million Zenny, and that is from getting a bunch of missions with some Hercule statues and selling them. So I'm always low on Zenny, so that's why I haven't done it. I have what I need to do it, but I just haven't spent the money on it yet. This is a completely free-to-play team outside, of course, using Jiren as the lead. You could run him as the lead. Or in fact, Universe Survival Saga leads are pretty abundant, which is somewhat wild. I think it might be the category with the most leads available, especially since there are a lot of free-to-play ones. This Kel right here cannot be understated at all. She is so fantastic. She is such a good unit to run. She's such a good support unit. Key plus 2, attack defense plus 30% up. It's just awesome. So here is sort of a more free-to-play centric team. And then I built out sort of a just different sort of fun team. On this particular thing, you can run Kel, Khalifa, or Kefla. All those can pretty much be interchanged. They're all fantastic units. Kefla will probably be the one that maybe shines the most of those three, but Khalifa and Kel are still amazing. Khalifa being in a top tier spot for one of the best AGL units in the game as of right now, with her sort of link set and her kit is just awesome. And of course, Jiren still running his lead. And then 17 and 18, who have Dokkan Awakens on JP, but I have them undoken just for this particular video, can both be ran together and do some amazing things. This guy right here, especially if you're able to invest orbs into him and SA10 him, can do some pretty awesome stuff. And when he Dokkan Awakens, even friggin' more so. Then looking past that onto Realm of Gods. Also, there are other units you can run on this. I'm obviously not showing them all, but I just wanted to show some mock teams because I kind of like doing that. Realm of Gods, this is sort of the crazy out there. If you have all the units available to you, this is the team to probably run. Now, Jiren could definitely be replaced with maybe something else. I just wanted to throw Jiren on there because I said he could be ran on here, and he could easily be replaced with, say, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku's a fantastic one because of his link set is so good. And your rotations here are already probably going to be Super Saiyan God Goku and UI Goku, because that Strength Super Saiyan God Goku is UI Goku's best link buddy available. So the main rotations here would probably be your Rose rotation and your UI Goku and Super Saiyan God Goku. Now, also worth noting, LR Vegito could be run on this team too, and does an amazing job. Then taking a look at a sort of old school, a throwback, if you will, running the old school blue Vegito, still running Super Saiyan God Goku because I feel like he's been on so many banners, including GSSRs, that he's probably a pretty common unit for a lot of people to have, and I sort of just wanted to include him anyway. So we threw it back to the old school Rose as well as the physical Vegito Blue, bringing Merge Zamasu and Goku Black. Now, I know Merge Zamasu has that sort of same thing that that the Intelligence Angel Golden Frieza has, but still wanted to go ahead and bring him along because he is a fantastic unit, and more than likely you'd run him with Rose, and he would never really have too many opportunities to decrease a super type ally anyway. And then last but not least, sort of just another random style team here that I built out. The Super Saiyan Blues probably staying together, and then maybe Zamasu and Goku Black staying together to kind of have some fun, because that Intelligence Zamasu is a fantastic unit and to not be overlooked at all. So this is just some sort of fun teams. I did pull up and I wanted to note how many are on each of the categories as of right now in JP. There are 94 cards on Realm of Gods, 54 on the Universe Survival Saga. The Universe Survival Saga has that free-to-play Gohan, it has the free-to-play Frieza, it has a lot of free-to-play units if you are trying to build out sort of a more free-to-play centric team and you don't have a bunch of these summonable units. Now, last but not least, let's talk the actual event itself. It is 5 stages long. We're taking on the 25 stamina sort of Super 2 event. It is 5 stages long. First one is the physical Super Saiyan God Goku. Second one is the strength Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And then number 3 is where it starts sort of getting hard. It does have an actual instant KO if you are not careful. Goku will deal out about 4 million damage, which you can negate by either a Ghost Usher, running Yimas, running a KO surviving unit such as the Frieza Saga Goku that recently got a Dokkan Awaken on both, well, somewhat recently got a Dokkan Awaken on both versions of the game, or running a unit that can dodge. I haven't actually tested that one, but a lot of people did tell me that you can dodge his attack. That's also a little risky. Like, Khalifa could dodge it, but then she might not dodge it. So it's definitely the best thing to do is probably Usher and then try and take him out in one turn. If you can't do that, if your units aren't strong enough to do that, probably Usher one turn, Yima another turn, and then maybe Usher again if you still can't. And then once you get past that, you then take on his awakened UI form, his Dokkan Awakened UI form. And then last but not least, the 5th and final stage is his Mastered UI form, and he has about a little over 4 million damage, 10 bars of health. It's a pretty hard event. I still stand by, I think it is the hardest. It's either between it or Jiren as the hardest events currently on the JP side of thing. Even harder than LR Gogeta and LR Vegito. So definitely a very difficult event. You definitely might need some items to take this one on, but it's a ton of fun and I actually enjoy it quite a bit. So last but not least, with that event, we get Dokkan Awakens for the Strength Super Saiyan Blue Goku, the AGL Super Saiyan God Goku, and the Strength Super Saiyan God Goku, as I've already shown off in this video earlier as part of the teams. As well as I believe I showed off an AGL one too in that last team. I did. So it's a lot of stuff happening on Global. This is all, of course, happening on Tuesday, May 15th. I imagine you guys probably already knew that part because it's in the in-game announcements, but still to note here at the end of the video. Anyways, as I said earlier, if you're new here, you found this useful, you found this helpful, you found this entertaining, any of those things, consider slapping a like on the video, as well as consider going down there, subscribing, and joining the hashtag NanoFam today. We are so close to 250,000. Thank you guys so incredibly much. Guys, have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Nanogenix on off, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.